Alright, today on Let's Get Offensive, which I don't know if this episode's really going to offend anybody, and like I've said many times now, that the intention is not to actually offend anybody. I just know some things I might say, especially as far as biblical practices, that it'll be offensive. And that is the truth. The Bible, Jesus' name alone can offend people. Just saying, I believe in Jesus. Wow. Well, that offends you. That's one thing I will not apologize for. But anyway, I want to get on to several topics. This video might be long, so stick with me, and I apologize. I started watching Newsmax this morning because, I'm up right before 8 o'clock. I was actually up before 6. I think before 5. Woo, I'm keep going back here. Anyway, watching Newsmax a little bit. The Georgia recount is not going the way the president wanted it to go. Well, here's the thing. I think the president already knew that the recount probably wouldn't go the way he was hoping, which is why he's been fighting for audits and fighting for an investigation. And if you ask me, if there are a number of ballots, even if it's just a few, that have been found to be fraudulent, a wide investigation needs to happen. I don't care if it's just one fraud vote. Who tried to get that fraud vote passed through, and did it come from the top down? We need to know. We really do. We really need to know. So I really don't care if the recounts aren't going the way they should. If the president can get all his information along with Rudy Giuliani, his legal team, Kayleigh McEnany, because they have found even a bunch of evidence of dead people voting, which that's messed up. And there's only one way that can happen, and that's them inputting false ballots, not erasing registrations of people who have died, to still claim, hey, they're registered, which would not be impossible for them to do. So let's not get in our heads that that wouldn't happen, we can trust them. No, I don't think we've been able to trust the media or the government for many, 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 many years, which is actually why I'm a big supporter of Trump, because he's not a politician. I actually, in the primary, voted for Ted Cruz and still would have preferred Ted Cruz. I think Ted Cruz is a brilliant man. He's a godly man. And that was the biggest reasons, those were the biggest reasons I voted for Ted Cruz. But now I look at it and I go, President Trump isn't a politician. And he doesn't bow down to any politician. And he doesn't bow down to any outside force that tries to influence him, because he already has money anyway. So when I think about it, I also dig deeper. And he's pro-life, and he's, pro-free speech, and he's pro-gun. The Constitution gives us that right. And thankfully I live in a state, Indiana, where it has an open carry law. Indiana is like, yeah, own any gun you want. So, yeah, I want to fight tooth and nail. People are still asking for the president to secede, and no, he shouldn't. Not until he gets the full truth. And if the full truth reveals that, hey, there was fraud, but not on the massive scale that they thought, then he can concede, and then hopefully still get a massive investigation going to find out who was involved. I also hope that this does not thwart the Hunter Biden situation. I almost feel like the Hunter Biden situation has been thrown under the rug because of this election stuff. But clearly, to me, mainstream media, they push Russian collusion, Russian collusion, Russian collusion, Russian collusion, Russian collusion for many years and end up getting nothing. Bupkis. They want to claim, oh, well, there was some interference. Well, congratulations. You got some interference, and what was it? Apparently, it was a video. An ad video. Really? That's your interference? I barely watch political ads. And there are plenty others who don't. Why? Because they don't want to hear the nonsense. So anyway. And I'm not saying it was a political ad, but it was a video of some kind. And either way, I didn't watch it. Because I don't watch a lot of things that go viral. But, you know, you're pushing Russian collusion. Now you want to say this Hunter Biden thing is Russian. Russian. Prove it. Prove it before you claim it. And you haven't proven it. You know, I got into a pretty good debate about it. And, you know, that person complained that I didn't read all the articles he shared. All the articles was from the big media saying the same thing that the other article already said. Why would I read it? They're just saying what I already know. I already know they're saying it's Russia. I already know that they're saying because these certain people that were from the FBI or CIA and blah, blah, blah are saying it's from Russia. I already know. It's not going to change my mind that there needs to be an investigation. It's not. I'm a truth seeker. The Lord sought me. I sought him out. He is the ultimate truth. I'm a truth seeker. Therefore, I want the truth. If Tony Bobulinski is lying, we'll know with an investigation. If Russia is involved, we'll know with an investigation. Just like this fraud stuff. Which it needs to be investigated no matter what, like I said. So both of these cases need not to be ignored, and they need investigated. And I want to hurry up and hear news about the investigations. Anyway. I also want to talk about the Mega March that happened on Saturday. Several people that went claimed it was very peaceful. You know, they weren't being mean, but there was thousands of them. To keep an eye on absolutely every single one of them would be impossible. But I do believe that for the most part it was peaceful. But then night came around. And more Republicans or conservatives, I should say, that were there started talking about Antifa and the backers of BLM starting to beat people up. TatumReport.com has a story from Drew Hernandez, who is Brandon Tatum's inside investigator journalist, who was at the rally, took several videos of these attacks. One was of some nice girls just walking by, getting stuff thrown at her and all kinds of slurs. Another video was of an elderly couple. I saw one video that Graham Allen shared, and it was of an older gentleman just walking by, all of a sudden gets decked from behind, in the face, from behind, and the older gentleman, he was out cold. And, you know, that video could have been doctored. I have no idea, but I do know Graham Allen was at the rally. I know Brandon Tatum was at the rally. I know Brandon Tatum's inside investigator was at the rally. So, yeah, I trust those sources. They were there. And I will provide a link, but the last time I got on TatumReport.com, it kept giving me a bot verification, which is weird because I've never had that going onto his website before, but I'll still find that story. And they're short clips But that story has, I think, about 5 videos of just Antifa attacking people that were supporting Trump. And you can clearly see all they were doing was walking. So that whole notion that, I'm pretty sure violence is on both sides. Maybe so, and I won't condone it either way, but you look at it, and it seems like, even if there are some people on the conservative side being dumb, there's a lot less of them than on the other side. Which, again, I'm not condoning either, but it's an extreme problem. And what I would say to conservatives that are supporting the Trump, look, it's okay to support your president. I'm supporting my president. But let's keep a bigger head here and not get violent. Let's not call people names. There are plenty of people I know that don't agree with me on politics or probably even my religion, okay? On my faith in Jesus Christ and some of the things. And guess what? At the end of the day, I can still be friendly with them and they can be friendly with me. You know, it was like Mike Pence said in the debate. You know, hey, you might hear these arguments, you might see us, in our debates, but at the end of the day, we can still be friends. So let's keep a level head, and I think for the most part, conservatives do. I mean, if you listen to the Hosh twins, Brandon Tatum, APL, and the list can actually go on, Steven Crowder, they're all saying like, hey, if Biden wins, then he's our president for the next 4 years. May not like it. I know I won't like it, but he's the president for the next 4 years. Deal with it. Thankfully, I live in a Republican state, so don't got to worry that much. The only thing I'd have to worry is if I break a federal law. And hopefully the only federal law I will ever break, if it comes down to it, and Lord willing, it will never come down to it in this country. However, nothing lasts forever outside of God. So, and what am I talking about here? I'm talking about worshiping Jesus Christ, even if it's illegal. If it gets illegal here, hey, I'll be more than glad to go to federal prison just for reading my Bible. I hope it never happens in my lifetime, but it's a possibility I need to be prepared for. But yeah, I will be sharing clips. I'll be sharing a USA Today article that I read on the Trump march, which, by the way, was biased as all get out. Look, when you start reading it, it starts off with basically debasing Trump and his notion of fraud. And then it starts off with debasing the supporters by saying, hey, this stuff is baseless claims, which they don't have baseless claims. They have affidavits. That's not baseless. Affidavits are sworn testimonies that could lead to prison if they're lying. So it's not baseless. Baseless would be suggesting they actually don't have anything and then are claiming they do. So it goes on to just start bashing. Like, how about you just give the news? In fact, the article starts off with just naming the rally and talking about what happens at night with the attacks. Why isn't the article only about that? But yet, when you actually start talking about the attacks, you talk about BLM, you mention them, but you don't make any wild claims or accusations towards them. But then you do with Trump supporters by then even calling them extremists at the end by somehow mixing in Parler, the Parler app, into the rally. And calling those that have switched to Parler extremists. Of course, the writer of the article is going to probably claim, I didn't call them extremists. This certain person did, which they do mention in the article. So I'll give them that. But how in the world did you you kept transitioning in that article You covered several different stories in one. You are clearly biased, but I'm still going to share it because I think people should read it and understand. This is true. The media is trying to cover up anything that they can and only paint people who vote Republican in a negative light. I would not doubt if there were some Republicans that had said some things they shouldn't have said. I don't doubt that. I would hope better, because we shouldn't be doing that. But if the Antifa people went there specifically just to beat people up, burn flags, and all of that stuff, which more than likely that is what they did, that they did it purely to just go there and stir some crap. Stir up that pot. Guarantee that's why they went. That was a specific goal. If it wasn't, they wouldn't be violent. If the specific goal was to just go there and have their march and be peaceful about it, that's what they would have done. Which is possible. You can see both sides. It's okay. But, from a biblical standpoint, especially, I can't condone violence on either side. And, it is from that biblical perspective that I'm thinking, look, I get that we might be angry. The liberal leftists are complaining and saying, hey, we won, get over it. Well, okay, but you called for Russian collusion, you called for that for 2 years, and then even after it was said and done, there was some complaining, whining and complaining. Oh, I can't believe they couldn't find anything. Well, it is what it is. If they ended up finding nothing, then hey, you guys on the left, you're right. Congratulations. But if they do find stuff, which as of right now it looks like they are, then we got a problem. And we should be standing united in it. But from a biblical standpoint, we're Christians. How many of us are Christians that went into that march? Christians especially should be calm. You're there for truth seeking. You're there to support the Trump and trying to find the truth. That is good. Keep doing it. I wish I was there. I would have loved to have seen Washington, D.C., and I would have loved to have been there with all the Trump supporters. But it is what it is. But as far as the violence, if you're a Christian and you had to defend yourself because they just started attacking you, that's different. But I hope you didn't entice it. And we shouldn't be enticing anything. Simply just fight for the truth, and you do that through peaceful protest. And I think that is great. I think it's great that our country still allows for peaceful protesting. It's rioting, it's looting, it's violence that shouldn't be allowed and should be stopped. And quite frankly, I don't blame the president when he started asking states, hey, would you like me to send in the National Guard to help you subdue these rioters? And most of those states that he was asking, they were like, no. To be honest, President Trump right now is still the commander-in-chief, which means he leads the military. I think he should have just said, well, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to send them in, I'm going to stop these rioters. Because these people that are burning down buildings, beating people up, all because they disagree, it's wrong. It's all wrong. And their crimes on any other day, any normal day, If I decide to pick up a brick right now and throw it at a building and then go in and proceed to steal things, I'm going to get arrested for a felony. Just like anyone else. On a normal day, those crimes are crime and people get arrested. Yet, the majority of these people didn't get arrested. In fact, they decided to arrest a kid, Kyle Rittenhouse, because he shot 2 people. Which a video clearly shows he fired after being attacked. And if he had every intention of just going there and shooting people, he was walking around for a decent amount of time with a semi-automatic weapon. He very well could have opened up fire at any given time and shot way more than 2 people. Yet he only shot 2 people. Why? Because they attacked him. And I have to admit, you're pretty dumb to attack somebody with a freaking rifle in their hand. But I digress. Should Kyle Rittenhouse been there with a gun? Probably not. He would have been better staying home. But I get it. He wanted to help defend people, according to him. But I wouldn't have done that personally. That is the job of our police. That is the job of our National Guard to help with this stuff. It's not us. You want to make a citizen's arrest, that's different. But usually, it's a one-on-one confrontation and you can take that person down because you caught them doing something bad. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It's not vigilante work, because you can end up calling the police, say, hey, I made a citizen's arrest. Can you come and pick this person up? I caught them doing something bad and I took them down. Or however it works. I've never been there, so I don't really know how it works. I just know we can make citizen's arrests, but I wouldn't suggest it unless you have the absolute opportunity to do so, and you can take down that person. Outside of that, again, it's the police job, and we gotta trust the police. The whole defund the police thing, it's not gonna work. My friend Josh, he even told me about Indianapolis. I think it's Indy, or it's his county. I forget which his county. He lives pretty close to Indy. That they have already instituted a civil thing where basically it's people like us, and they convene and they tell the cops how they should conduct business. Are you in the fold? I've never been a cop. And I understand that their job ain't easy. And I am not about to tell them how to do their job. Not about to do it. And I don't think any of us should. If you have never been a police officer, if you've never been on a ride with a police officer, you have no right to tell a police officer how they should be conducting their business. There's a reason they go through training. There's a reason they go through an academy. They already are given the necessary knowledge to do their job appropriately. They don't need outsiders like us telling them what to do. But I digress. Anyway, I don't want to make this video too long. I do, however, want to start making more videos. And if you want to see more videos, please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Please. I beg you. I'm just kidding. But seriously, it'd be nice. Because I would like to start making these more often and eventually even make it a full podcast that you can enjoy. Because I enjoy this stuff. Life is about living for the Lord. And it should be found joyous to do it. And I know that in this video, you're going to say, well, there wasn't a lot of biblical stuff in it. Everything that I'm saying, I try to bring from a biblical perspective. Even if I don't necessarily always bring the Bible into it. That's the point of this. But that is what it is. I love you all. God bless. Thank you for watching. And again, please like, share, comment, and subscribe.